But one thing I can vouch for and swear to is this place between the hospital and here, they saved my life.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
guaranteed. Wasn't for them, I'd be dead.
that's powerful statement.
It's
What
a
was
true statement. That's
what
why
was-
I tear up when I say it. You know,
what was going on in your life that made
I already
things?
had a heart condition, which I was suffering from. But I was attacked and robbed, like what, 2 days after I was here? I took a walk, yeah. And a result of the attack was my spleen was shattered. So I had to go to the hospital. And overall, I ended up being there like 25 days in ICU and 2 surgeries. And when I got out, I wouldn't have had anywhere to go if it wasn't for here, and I wouldn't have been so taken care of if it wasn't for the Refuge of Hope. Like it was cold.
Right. What aspect of the refuge do you think was the most valuable here?
What is what?
What was the most valuable thing you got here at the refuge? Like, what was our best service?
You guys.
Or just the staff?
You guys, yeah. Because without the staff, there's nothing else, you know. And man, I'm not bullshitting. You guys saved my life. You know. And I was in a lot of pain, remember?
No, yeah, I remember you're a lot of
50 staples running down in front of me, and
Yeah.
they accommodated me by letting me stay in my bunk, 90% of the time, and made sure I got the doctor's appointments. They still do. I'd come up here and ask Claire Brown for a bus pass to go to the doctor, and they'd give it to me. Like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Yeah.
Did you know you were sick, or did you get diagnosed after you came here?
I knew I was sick already, the heart thing. That's why the hospital, they were surprised that my heart even withstood the attack, because it was pretty bad.
Well, what is your heart operating at right now?
18%.
18%.
Yeah, my heart functions at 18%.
And then while you were here, didn't it drop down to like 5 or 6? Didn't they say?
I think it was a little lower, like maybe 15 or something.
A little lower.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But for some reason, it's climbing back up again, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining.
Come on.
But I mean, it was like 15, now it's up to 18. So somewhere since leaving here a couple months ago, and now, I've gained 3% back. My heart's still trying to kick it into overdrive, but
It's healing.
like I said, without them,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, and I see you riding your bike and
yeah.
you're exercising.
Well, I try to
you're
stay
fit.
active. I try to keep it pumping, because recently, when I was at my apartment, which they helped me get, I passed out 3 times in a 4-hour period because my oxygen wasn't getting enough. My brain wasn't getting enough oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called 911, and they picked me up in an ambulance, because I knew that the 3rd time something's not right here. I probably should have figured it out the 2nd time. But in a 4-hour period, so when I got there, they kept me there for about 5 days and got it regulated again. They want to put in a defibrillator, but what had happened was your normal heartbeat is 80 to 100 beats per minute. Mine was beating at 29 a minute. So it was like, boom,
Yeah.
boom. And the blood it was pumping wasn't going up here,
Yeah.
And that's why I was passing out.
Yeah. You had to feel exhausted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt tired, but, I knew, you could tell, because it's like lightheadedness. You get dizzy, lightheaded, and I stumbled. The first time I stumbled a little bit, and I went to grab for the kitchen sink counter to hold myself up, and even knowing I was going to fall, it didn't matter. I still blacked out. Woke up on the kitchen floor.
Wow.
So I woke up in the kitchen twice. I woke up in the living room once, and I said, "Okay, I'm calling an ambulance."
Yeah.
Because this, like 3 times in 4 hours, is ridiculous. And so,
Well, that's got to make work difficult, right?
What's that?
That would make work difficult having.
Well,
that.
yeah, I can't work.
No.
I'm permanently disabled. The doctor said, no, not even doing any kind of menial job like sitting here. It's just, it's too much exertion.
Yeah.
Really, in her mind, I should be at home laying in bed all day. but that's not me. You know, I gotta stay active.
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't stay active, then your body starts to deteriorate more. You know.
So you moved out of here how long ago?
What's that?
How long ago has it been since you moved?
From here? April.
April. Okay. Okay. So a couple months.
Yep.
What does that look like? What did it look like when you found out you had a place?
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved it here, you know, but man, just having your own place, even though it's a small apartment, it's still you relish that alone time. You know what I mean? And now I have it because here there wasn't a lot of alone time. You know, people.
Yeah.
And I'm not that, even after Brian, I didn't keep much of a circle here at all except for the staff. You know, it's about who I talked to.
Well, and while you were here, Ryan was newer.
What's that?
Ryan had just come on staff. He was the new guy on the block.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I liked him immediately.
Yeah?
Yep. I had a thing for him.
What clicked?
No, I'm joking.
I love it. You just grabbed your beard. That's so funny.
But yeah, I drove a truck for 25 years until I couldn't pass the Department of Transportation physical.
Yeah, well, passing out and driving is a real
Yeah.
not a successful
Because
combination.
every 2 years you got to take a DOT physical for the feds, and you get a medical card, it's called.
Okay.
And when you get pulled over in a big truck, you got to give them your CDL, your logbook. Well, that was electronic log, so your logbook and your medical card. When you got to have that on you all the time, you know. And I tried several times to renew mine, and I couldn't pass. You know, I couldn't pass, so I couldn't work anymore. And I hauled steel for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know. And,
So-
not being able to work anymore. I mean, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
You know, you go from having, I'd say I made between 14 and 1,700 a week. Okay, and you don't think you could live without that after so long. You know, 25, not the whole 25 years of that, maybe the last 5, but you know, first 20, anywhere between 800 and 1,100. You know what I mean? So you're always making good money, depending, especially based on inflation and all that. You know, and you don't think you can live without it. You know.
You know, a question I have for you is, you know, since you've had time, so like, I've always, while you were here, I saw God working in you, because like you're a testimony to His grace. Like, you got beat down, He brought you right back. You
Right.
got sick, He brought you back. So,
Right.
like, what is something that you've taken from this experience through God's mercy, and like, what's a testimony you can give to God about what you've taken
Oh
from
yeah,
your time here?
I mean, the way I look at it is God worked through you guys. You know what I mean? And He kept my drive alive too. You know, my will to want to keep going. Because you see a lot of people, they give up.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not a quitter.
Right.
And I think there's sometimes I wanted to, and there's like some kind of feeling in me that just said, you know, go, you know, don't stop. Because I mean, I was jotting on the spot every time we needed to do something to get me progressing to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And He gave me the strength to do that.
Come on.
Because you saw me walking around here. He was helping me walk around here. I mean, I had literally 50 staples running through me. Yeah, it was just, and then a bad heart, you know. Like the heart had to contend with 2 surgeries, you know, in my spleen. And like one time I woke up and, you know, you're touched, you know, by God. Because, man, the second time, remember I told you I woke up, they had me strapped to a bed after the second surgery. They had me immobilized and feeding me through tubes for 5 days. And if you can live through that, because, I mean, it's just liquid diet, and 5 days of not moving, and I'm talking literally not moving. Like, you know, like this, strap across the forehead, strap across the chin, strap. Tubes going up and down my nose and throat and in my mouth, down my stomach, and you gotta lay there like that for 5 days. And you know, you got the strength from somewhere to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's from His His holiness.
Yeah. Matt, I'm seeing you, and I hear you say you have a bad heart, and yet
That's the thing, too.
I
He kept my
see a
heart
good
going.
heart. I see a love for the Lord. I see a strength that comes only from Him.
Right?
Um,
Well, if it wasn't for him
Man.
and the Refuge of Hope and the hospital, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be sitting right here next to Brian talking to you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It makes magic. The music plays.
Right?
That was good though. That
Yeah.
was good.
And I just thank God, thank the Refuge of Hope, thank the hospital, and thank my lucky stars. That I'm able to enjoy this summer. Now, I'm not in the shape for my bikini this year, but
Well, you'll get it.
yeah,
It'll be a
it's just the
winter.
lump from the
It didn't
hernia.
change overnight. It's not going to go away overnight either. It's all right.
I mean, really, when this all started, I weighed 197, and now I weigh 180. It's still
So
taking
Matt,
a toll on me somehow, but I've gained strength. I might have lost weight, but I'm stronger. I feel like.
Yep.
Matt, for that guy who comes to the door for the first time tonight to stay here, what advice do you have for him?
Just believe in God, love yourself, and love God, and just if you're a decent person and follow the rules, you're going to be blessed. Not only by God but by the Refuge of Hope. I've never been to a homeless shelter until this time, ever. Right? I've lived in my truck for a lot of years, 5 days a week, but I always had a place to go home on the weekends. I had a place. And it's just like, I can't imagine there's another facility in this whole country better than this one.
Well, we have a lot of people who love this place and everyone in it. Our donors are so incredibly generous with their prayers, with their gifts to help us do what we do. So we thank them for making it possible. But you're
Such
doing the work.
misgivings about a homeless shelter and how horrible it would be, and you hear horror stories about other ones. I just can't possibly imagine, and I don't care where you go, that there's a better one than this one.
Well, we have Ryan and Clay and the whole team of
Two of my best friends.
they're good guys.
Yeah, that's the best part about working in the shelter is the relationships you get to make with these guys, and that's one of the ones that he was riding his bike earlier today, and I was like, I had to yell Matt so I could get the
Yeah, I didn't
so
see
could
him,
hug So,
but as soon, I didn't have to see him when I heard the voice. I knew it was him immediately, and I turned around.
Well, I love that you still come down for meals every once in a while, that we get to see you. We get to see
Yeah,
you
I
doing
don't-
well.
I don't come down every day because it's all the way up there by Altman and St. Joe's Church. But now I got a bike, so I come down more frequently. But the walk, man, the walk, it's a 40-minute walk one way.
Did you get that bike through the bike ministry?
Yes, I did.
So Mike Ludwig and his team from
Yeah.
Gemini, they
And,
helped you out.
That was a blessing too, because usually I heard it takes 2 or 3 weeks to get on the list and wait. The first Sunday I went down there, I got there at 6 o'clock, and waited. And finally, it was 7. And he took my name and put it on the list, and he said, "Well, why don't you come back in an hour and a half?" And I said, "Oh, here we go, spin job." You know what I mean? Thinking to myself, I said, okay. So I went and walked around, went to Centennial Park and stuff for an hour and a half. I came back, and he said, well, why don't you wait around for another hour? I said, okay. And then I came back, and I ended up waiting another 45 minutes outside of the shed. So I waited for a total maybe 3 or 3.5 hours. But, he was working on the bike the whole time, and then he handed some other bikes off to other people that were already on the list for 2 or 3 weeks. And then he motioned me into the shed and said, "This one's yours." And he handed me a pink bike. I said, "Look, I'll take it." It's a lot better than walking. And so that's another thing. It's like I get help from above. You know what I mean? Like my dogs were killing me. You know, I was getting healthier and healthier walking, but my feet were starting to really hurt, you know. And I was thinking, well, it'll be worth it if I have to wait a couple weeks. And the very first Sunday I was here, I got a bike.
That's good.
You know? So you see how things just keep going for me, which is just, there's only hope. It's a miracle from there. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Nobody can be as lucky as I am. Not without a little bit of help, right? Nobody. Because I've been exceptionally blessed and exceptionally lucky, and more blessed than lucky.
Yeah.
You know, I don't consider it luck. I consider it just, for some reason, being loved. You know?
Well, Matt, we're thankful that God has blessed you and this place to be able to offer those blessings to you, but also so thankful that you are so courageous to share your story with us.
Yeah.
It means a lot. And I just would wonder, is there something that we can continue praying for you? How can we pray for you? Is there something that you would like us to continue praying?
I mean, I don't like to ask for anything, you know. It just comes along and that's fine. You know what I mean? Because then I know when it just happens like that it really is, you know, a miracle from God. You know what I mean? Like a blessing, you know, from good people and the Lord.
Yeah.
So.
How about a few extra beats per minute?
What's that?
Couple extra beats per minute, more beats per minute.
Even that, I've known I've had this congestive heart failure and a bad heart for a couple of years now, you know, and I feel young up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Might not look it, but I feel young up here. And
that matters.
But believe it or not, if I fell over right now, I'd be fine with it. Because I know where I'm going.
Come on. Yes.
So
what a gift that is.
I'd be fine with it. I'm not afraid of death anymore.
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger, I was. But now it's like, man, sometimes I feel like it'd be nice to get there. You know, my brother's there, my grandparents, my dad and mom. You know what I mean? God, you know, Jesus, St. Peter. You know what I mean? I'm just afraid they won't let me get through the gate.
We all know how that works, right? I think you have a love for the Lord.
Like, oh no, Thompson.
No.
You know,
That's the awesome thing, that
heard about you.
Our future is not determined by our past.
No,
so
I know,
we
right.
are very fortunate to have a God who gave
forgiving.
his son to die for us so that
still bless you, even though sometimes you've been a rotten person.
we all have our bad days, right? That's
Yeah.
okay. It's all right.
But I don't really believe that, because what I believe is that as long as you believe in him and you know you're a good person and you devote, at least try to devote some of your time to doing his work, then you're going to get there. No matter what.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Jesus loves you, Matt, and a lot of other people do as well. That's how
I feel it.
all of it just, keep
I
spreading
feel
that
it.
sunshine.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. Appreciate it.
Love you, buddy.
You too, man.